Okay, so let's just settle into while we just do this, Mark, while we just wait for everybody to turn up. So it's a really good way to get your mind settled. So if you are sitting on a chair with your feet on the ground rather than in a cross-legged position, make sure that they're not, your ankles aren't crossed or anything like that, and perhaps put a little cushion underneath your feet. Other than that, if you are sitting in a cross-legged position, maybe you can put some cushions under your knees if you have knee issues. And then a little cushion under your coccyx just to raise your hips up a little bit. Helps to straighten the spine. And you can imagine your pelvis is the pelvic bowl, and it has some liquid in it that you don't want to spill. So nice and straight. So the next thing is we think about the hands in the meditation mudra. So the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. Shoulders over the hips and the ears over the shoulders. Mary, I added this while we were away because it seems that we left out the neck. So just imagine that your spine is made of a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine, all the coccyx, all the way up through the crown of the top of the head. And someone is there very gently lengthening your spine. So as we go through our day, we're sitting at desks or we're pounding around, we tend to shrink a little bit. So it's really good to try and just think of expansion. So rather than just kind of straightening the back, we're just lengthening and expanding. Head is slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. And if your eyes were open, they would be looking at a spot about 2 inches ahead of you. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth and relax the jaw. Lips slightly apart. And let's just go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks. And the mouth, the jaw. And go to the back of the head and relax the scalp, the ears. Go inside the ears. Imagine what it would be like to relax the inner ear, the eardrum. And relax the back of the neck, the shoulders, the back. And just remember, if you are quite healthy, don't have any back issues, it's best not to lean into the back of the chair or the couch, whatever you're sitting on. And relax the throat, the chest, the belly, the arms, hands, fingers, legs, feet, and toes. And now let's just bring our mind to the breath. Notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to have your mind run off and try and investigate or push away with aversion. And whatever's been going on in the day is probably running through your mind. So just allow those thoughts to be there, allow them to arise, to abide, and they'll just fall away. Try not to judge your thoughts, make up a story or follow a story. And just bring the mind back to the breath while we do motivations. Just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. This is a psychological process. We create negativity with our mind, and we're going to create positivity with our mind. We can counteract it. And we're doing this for the benefit of all sentient beings and for ourselves. So we can move very slowly, gradually towards our own perfection, our own enlightenment. So the first step in this Vajrasattva practice with the 4 opponent powers is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being today, maybe this week, this month, perhaps this life. So think of a specific action of the body or the speech, and perhaps just in general regret the things that perhaps you can't remember that may have caused harm. And the reason we regret is based on the logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So because we've harmed others, we are necessarily going to experience some kind of suffering in the future. And the idea of this is a little bit daunting, and we already understand what suffering feels like, and it's difficult. So who wants that? So the logic is therefore to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. So we also regret any anger and attachment and all the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. We can think, I'm sick of this suffering. So who can I turn to? What can I do about it? And here we come to the power of reliance. The first section of this is Refuge and Compassion. The first section is refuge. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has the methods we can use to purify. And so we're not asking Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. He's about 2 inches above the crown of your head, made of blissful, radiant light. And you can think that he's your Lama, your teacher, your guru, manifesting in this way for your benefit. And he's made of blissful, radiant, white light. And he's sitting in a cross-legged position on a lotus. He's with this radiant, beautiful, youthful face and these lotus-like long eyes, very peaceful, full of love and compassion for you. Has no judgmental thoughts towards you, no opinions about you, just loves you for who you are. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot, and he's wearing these silken robes, and jewels, sort of in the royal Indian style. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, the left holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And there being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So the next little bit is developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think, first of all, of people you may have harmed recently. Someone maybe you've harmed in the past. And then in general, all beings we've ever harmed. And then think about those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to necessarily ripen into harm for them in the future, some kind of suffering. So make a strong aspiration. We do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. And we just think, I must purify for their sake. So the power of the remedy is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. So the first is the purification of the body. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar quite strongly from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And just imagine it just keeps pouring into you, and it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky black liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space. It doesn't pollute anything around you, not an atom left. And so we'll recite the mantra 7 times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supakaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supakaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm that you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think that there's no way you could do anything other than be of benefit to others now with your body. How amazing. So the next is a purification of speech. And so again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and enters quite forcefully your crown, filling your entire body. And this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and it overflows and disappears into space. Not one atom left. And it's just as LAMA YESHE says, when you turn on the tap in the sink and fill the dirty glass, all the junk comes to the top and overflows. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech, the useless speech and the lying, talking badly about others behind their backs, all this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Subakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sabasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bava Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine that it's not possible that you could do anything other than be of benefit to others with your speech. So just imagine the moment they hear your voice, it soothes their mind, instantly makes them feel okay, inspired, whole. How amazing would that be to have that kind of power? So the next is the purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends this powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And just as LAMA YESHE says, when you walk into a room, a dark room, and you switch on a light, the light instantly dispels the darkness. So the same here, just as the light hits your heart chakra, the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all our attachment and our neediness, our anxiety, our depression, our anger, our bitterness and grudges, resentment and jealousy, all these things all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mebe yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira meboa sutokaya meboa supakaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mebe yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Savatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone, completely disappeared. And just think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is the purification of even the imprints, subtle imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this time you can visualize light and nectar flowing into you from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, sort of at the same time. Or if you feel you have the space in your mind, you can visualize the previous 3 visualizations for body, speech, and mind, either simultaneously or one after the other. That's whatever you feel you can manage. And this light fills you, the light and the nectar fills you completely. And just imagine even the subtlest imprints of negative energy kind of washed away from your mind. So it's just getting rid of that very last extra bit of energy, negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supakaya meboa anarakta meboa sabasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supakaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira meboa sutokaya meboa supakaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the 4th step in this process is the power of resolve. So it's a really crucial step, this one. This is the determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind again. So without this, we're going to keep doing the same old things this determination, the aspiration to not harm, is like a beacon that guides us. And it guides our body and our speech and our mind in more positive directions. So as LAMA Rinpoche says, everything exists on the tip of the wish. So think of something now that perhaps you'd like to work on, whether it's a negative thought, negative self-talk, some kind of habit you have, like biting your nails or constantly checking your phone. So maybe if we just decide to refrain from doing that thing for 30 seconds or 1 minute, or just for 8 hours while you're asleep overnight. Give us something that's manageable, something that's doable. Try not to make promises to ourselves that we're not going to be able to keep. So just this way, step by step, you can start to refrain from our kind of the habits that are harmful to us and others. So this determination to not do again is what gives us the strength to change. So just to conclude, just imagine Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He sort of melts into white light and absorbs into you, just kind of dissolves into your crown. And you think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. LAMA YESHE calls this, or used to call this, union oneness. And LAMA Rinpoche says, recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level we all understand emptiness, just try and place our mind there for a moment. So we can think of all phenomena as empty. They're not existing from their own side. Or we can think of things as being dependent arisings. This comes into existence because of that. This comes into existence because of these set of causes and conditions. We can also contemplate this idea that things may not possibly exist the way we think they do, based on our view of the world, which is determined by the way we are physically structured, the way we've been educated. And so because these things have molded us, particularly our body, perhaps things don't necessarily exist the way we perceive them as human beings. Okay, so let's dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we have created by doing this purification to all living beings. Just think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment as quickly as possible for the sake of all sentient beings. And just spare a thought tonight for people in Mexico. There's been a 7-point-something earthquake down there. So just keep all those people in mind. So long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in the world, the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Vanjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequaled guide. Please have a long and stable life. Well, there we go. Purified yet again. Now we can all go to bed with a happy mind, just relax and enjoy your evening, and have a wonderful day tomorrow, everyone, and lots of love. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And thank you, Mary, for hosting.
Thanks,
Everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Coral and
Venerable
Mark.